Well, hi everyone. This is Don Smith. Welcome to my May tip of the month. And today I want to talk about ways that I think you can improve your vision. And in the pro realm, we talk about this all the time, and I teach it at my workshops, and it's called working a scene. How many of you have heard that term, working a scene? Well, I'm going to explain what it means, and it's going to involve your smartphone. I happen to own an iPhone 16 Pro Max, I think. It really doesn't matter what you own. They're all great phones, great picture takers. Uh, it's something that we have with us almost everywhere we go. Am I correct? Um, and I know I take a walk and I go about 3.5, 4 miles, and this phone's always with me. And if I see anything that I think is interesting, I'm taking a picture. And more than that, let's jump into our program today. And this is a place called the Ojai Valley Inn Golf Course. I think it's called the Lost Golf Course, if I'm correct, but don't quote me on that. And it is in Ojai, California. Some of you may have heard of that place. I would say it's about a 25-minute drive east of Santa Barbara, Carpinteria, Montecito area, if you're familiar with that. We were there last Sunday. It was my youngest son's 30th birthday. Woo! What does that make me? I'm not spilling the guts here. I'm not spilling the beans, whatever that term is. However, it was Beri, my wife Beri, my son Aaron, and I, and we were sitting up on this platform, and this is what this scene is showing you here. And I looked out, the sun had set off to camera left behind some mountains. Now, this was about 7 o'clock in the evening, so absolute sunset wasn't until about 8:03 that night. But we were in indirect light now, and these are some of the holes, the finishing holes on the back nine. And I just happened to look at this beautiful sprawling valley oak, and I noticed these lanterns dangling from them. And because the light levels were getting lowered, the light started to take effect. And then down here underneath the left branch, I noticed these 3 chairs and these people sitting in it, a husband and wife, or I won't assume that. It could have been a brother or sister or friends. I don't know. But they were just sort of relaxing, and the whole scene just sort of spoke of calmness and beauty. And so, yeah, I had my iPhone out, and sitting down at my table, I took this picture. All the elements were there. However, this isn't working a scene because I have this whole mess bottom right of this cart path, this little bit of a tee box over here, this sign, a lot of dirt underneath the tree, which is not a big issue to me. But nonetheless, I thought I could improve this. And so I'm going to show you a few frames here, maybe about, let's see, probably about 9 frames, 10 frames, how I worked the scene. But I actually shot 35. So these are some of the selects out of 35 frames I did on my iPhone. I will say I shoot everything in RAW mode on the iPhone, and then I process back at the computer when I can. I load them onto my Mac using image capture, which is on any Mac product. I think it's even on your little notepad that you have. You can input the raw file and it won't convert it to a JPEG. And it shoots in HEIC, H-E-I-C. I think that stands for High Efficiency Image Capture. And it's really like overlaying a really quickly shot movie scene. I won't get into it all. You can Google it. Okay, so I knew I had to clean up that bottom right. So I got up, walked away from the table, told my son I'd be back to enjoy his birthday cake, but for him and my wife to start in on things. So I got down and I went from this scene, which was shot at my dinner table, to this scene. And usually, if I think something is not right, I will tend to move in. A lot of times, just tightening down your scene will help you. Now, this is all done with the iPhone. I can change lenses and perspective and what have you. So I still had to have my lanterns in here. I wanted the chairs. I don't have to show the entire tree, but those are my 3 main elements. But we got some distractions. Some kids started to come into the scene, but I could take those out. That's easy enough. This putting green came into the scene, and I go, I don't like it because it tends to tug my eye over here. I could get these little metal stanchions out of there and this rope, but if I tried to clone this whole area in this particular scene, it might be kind of a bit. So that wasn't working for me. So then I came to this scene and, I go, well, this is just terrible, Don, because I got so focused on these lamps that I missed down here. And I still have all this ugly room down here on the putting green. So I'm showing you a lot of stuff I wouldn't normally show. And let me get that out of there so we don't activate that left side. Okay, so shoot again, work the scene, work the scene. And I'm going to lower this down. There we go. Let me go back because I think, I had that blown up. So this was the scene you saw that I cropped in a little bit, but this was terrible. I had this ugly putting green. So now let's go. Okay, now we're kind of getting there. I still got this over here, but I can clone these kids, the rope, and maybe I could even clone out the putting green. But what if I backed up and found the light, which I did, this lantern, and now, can you see how much better that is? I don't have to clone, but I moved back behind me because I turned around, almost banged my head on this light, and I went, whoa, there's my foreground. Now I've got the lights coming up. This area, it kind of just, this putting green's still here, but because the eye's got something big to jump onto, it's got a focal point now, right? And it's in a strong position. I always have my rule of third grids up on my camera. And this was right on the left side. And I just put it right in the middle to give me a dominant element in the foreground. And then I've got these people over here. So I kind of like this. And I shot that. And then I said, well, what if we turn the camera, let me get this down, vertical. And I thought, okay, well, that's a nice shot of the lamp, but it doesn't tell a story. And really, I wanted to just tell the story of two people enjoying this beautiful scene. Golf courses are beautiful. I'm a golfer, so I think golf courses are beautiful. Some of you may not. You might think they're ugly. I happen to think they're beautiful, even though they're kind of man manipulated. The best golf courses just fit the grass into the terrain and do very little grading other than the tee boxes and the putting greens. But go over to St. Andrews, which I've had the pleasure to play with my two boys, and play the courses over there. That was the very first golf course in the world, and there was, maybe short of horses and plows, they just fit that golf course into the terrain, and that's why I think golf courses are beautiful. Okay, so we talked about that, but I left it in to show you. I'm still working that scene. I'm looking for more pictures. Then these people happened to get up, and they moved out of the scene. But I really didn't care because I thought, I've got the three chairs, so that's sort of I'm inviting the viewer into now, and I still put this as my dominant element. And I included a little more of these. And I'm thinking that still screams the story I want to tell, which is calmness, peaceness, this beautiful scene, half hour out from darkness starting to settle in. And how much people would go, boy, I would love to be sitting in those chairs just taking this all in. But let's see if we can continue to work this. I started to back out now a little, but I cut this main element off, this light up here, so it becomes a huge distraction. I brought in this building over here, and again, too much of the golf course, and we got the kids running around. So then I came to this scene, and this is cropped. I won't go back because I don't want to lose this show, but I backed up, and it introduced some of the putting green over here, and then I just took the cropping tool, and let me see if I can bring this up a little bit. And this is one that's going to go off to my agency, which is Getty Images. Now you're going to send an iPhoto to Getty? I do it all the time, and I just size these pictures up to about 128 meg and 8-bit. and I make sales off my iPhone RAW. So I always shoot in RAW because then I have the full I think it's 16-bit in iPhone. I'd have to look that up. Maybe it's 14 or 12. If somebody knows who's smarter than me with an iPhone, if you can leave it in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. But I got everything. Look at, I got the whole, not the whole canopy, but a good part of the canopy. This is what's called valley oak. And you can tell because it's hard to see in here, but there's a textured kind of bark that's associated with valley. I grew up around valley oaks, so I can spot a valley oak, and they're usually the one that has the twisty, gnarly limbs, and oftentimes they create a beautiful canopy. I love valley oaks and I love blue oaks. Those are my two favorite oaks. So I really liked this picture, and I made sure when I cropped this, I didn't crop up into the dirt. I left this grass to serve as a stopping point to the eye, and then the grass doesn't really get to be too obnoxious. I did highlight this in Lightroom, and I took it down just a little bit to dull it down because it was really bright and drawing the eye over there. That's the golf path. I didn't want to eliminate it, but I pulled it down. Now, I'm going to come into the last of what I shot, and this is just straight out of the camera. You can see up here top left, this is just a converted JPEG from the RAW I was shooting. It's got a lot of the sky here, but it's okay because the sun was, Ojai sits in a valley surrounded by steep mountains. So the sun, there's actually a mountain back in here, and the sun had gone down, so the brightness of this wasn't too bad. So I'm going to show you my first attempt at processing it, and we're going to have to lower that down a little. And, you know, pretty over the top processing, but I had been sitting at the computer for so long, and this happens to a lot of people. I'm not the only one. Our eyes just become more and more accepting of the color because we're staring at it, and we becomes numbed down to us. So I knew I had to do what I call cleanse my eye, cleanse my palette. So I got up and walked out of the room for a couple of minutes and came back in, and I spotted immediately that the colors were just too, it was just too over processed. So I took down a vibrance and saturation and added a little bit of I added actually quite a bit of a vignette just in Lightroom. Usually I'll do this in Tony Kuiper's panel. I think it's easier to do and it's more subtle. And perhaps, let me bring up now, you can see I took the vibrance down -24. I didn't take the saturation down, but let's go into effects because that's where I'm going to reset that, and you can see you can make a case that this is nice, and I probably over vignetted it. Let's just add a tinge of a vignette, and now I think I like that better. Let's go from there to there, and maybe even back it off a little. I don't use vignettes on much of my landscapes. I see, by the way, you sharp-eyed people out there will see I got a little halo in there. There's a little technique I can do in Photoshop to take that out, and I've made a video on it, so you can just search my YouTube site on removing halos. I think that's pretty close. So the three pictures I would probably send off to Getty would be this one, definitely this one. Let's bring it up again. And did I have another one? I think it was this one. Yeah, I haven't really done any processing to this one. It's not going to need a whole lot of processing, I don't think. That's JPEG. Well, I take it back. This isn't the RAW file we're looking at. This is processed in camera. So I will get the RAW file, and I will probably pretty much match it, but I will bring this dirt down a little bit so it's not such an eye tug away from there. Okay, so once again, everybody, get these phones out. When you hear the term working scene and you're moving around and your buddies are going or your friends are going, hey, don't you have a picture yet? You can turn around and tell them, I'm working a scene. Don Smith told me to do that. It won't steer you wrong. It will improve your vision. I think these are the greatest vision tools ever invented. We have them right with us all the time. Turn on your grid so you get the rule of third grid lines in there. and start paying attention in the rule of thirds where the grid lines are. If you don't understand rule of thirds, Google it. I'll do a video on all the different ways that art, this is all transformed over from the art world. So don't think it's a useless thing. It's where we can help us, an aid to help us place visual elements in the strongest position in our composition. And we want somebody to linger with our shot. And I think this is a frame somebody would linger with. I think that's a frame somebody would linger with. And I think that's a frame somebody will linger with. The rest of them, no, and you've heard my thoughts. So work that scene. Hey, have a great 3-day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, or if you're not watching me in the United States, just have a great weekend. Get out with your camera, stay active. It's good for the soul. We'll see you next month.